That IPRA, they do a lot of ghost hunts around Chicago and they do all the videos. We did an investigation at King of Cups in Chicago a couple months ago, and we just posted it. And it's pretty cool with what happened with the crown and everything else.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But I want to introduce this guy here, Pete. He knows a lot about Bachelors Grove. He's got a website, and he's done a lot to make sure that this place is taken care of over the years. And forgive me if I forgot some of the things that he's done, but it's been a long time since I've seen him.
I'm just glad everybody's here and everybody's not being hounded by the cops.
Right. Yeah, I got an email that
they
said...
gave the thumbs up when they drove away.
Yeah, I got an email saying that I couldn't do this and I had to get a permit and everything else. I said, well, what do you mean? He says, well, you're doing an event. I said, actually, I'm just inviting people. It's just a gathering. And actually, they were really nice. They just said, make sure you don't leave any garbage or anything like that because they put so much time and effort to taking care of this place. And I know he has too as well. You had a lot to do with bringing this thing back to its life, right?
A little bit.
Yeah. This cemetery used to be in disarray. I mean, people come in and they'd vandal, they'd knock stuff over. And this place goes back to, what, 1832? Something like that? 1830s. And they buried some people that died when they were building something, right?
No, a lot of misinformation.
Okay.
The original burial was some dude that lived down in the corner and died. They didn't find a place to bury him.
So they buried him here?
Yeah, that's how it started.
And then it started. Everybody else wanted to be buried here. Hey, because Chuck's here. Let's go get buried here. But the reason why I like this place is because I used to come here a lot in the 90s. And there's various different ghost groups in Chicago that we would come here and we'd investigate. And we'd have amazing EVPs that we would capture. People would come here through the night. And you're not supposed to be here late at night, so sometimes we got chased out by the police. And it was kind of that rush, like, run, here they come. They'd be with the flashlights. I wouldn't recommend that, okay? All right, because there's some hefty fines now. But we had, one of the experiences we had, and they talk about this, is we had this ball of light that came like from behind the tree and started floating. We're like, what is that? We thought maybe it was a balloon or something else. And then the thing sped up and then it just took off behind a tree. And I know one of the guys, Michael, I forgot his last name, took a picture of it and captured it. Another time it was probably around 5:36. The sun was just starting to come down. I was standing over there and these kids walk in. I said, oh, what are you guys doing? They said, hey, you catch any ghosts yet? I said, well, we actually just got here. We're going to get started. And then all of a sudden this bar of light appeared, probably about this long, about 10 feet off the ground, manifested right in between those trees. I see it and the other kids see it and we're like, what the hell is that? I go, I don't know. I've never seen anything like that. Usually you'll see vaporous mist, you'll see orbs, you'll see manifestations of torsos, not a bar of light, okay? Then that lasted for about 10 seconds and it disappeared. Some of the investigators I've worked with over the years have seen, they talk about the house that's over there, that house that appears and then it disappears. I know one person that brought that story up, but then another friend of mine that would come here all the time said he's never coming back here alone again. And I said, why? He was over here doing some EVPs and all of a sudden he saw two people walking up that were in robes. Well, they have certain stories or legends of people worshiping, right? Is there any truth to that with the satanic cults?
Barely any.
Barely any, okay. So there's rumors going around about people being in, doing satanic rituals and stuff like that. And I know Mancow talked about that a lot. There's probably he overblown it, right. Well, he tells me, and my friend tells me, because Chris, there was two people that came up, a guy and a girl, young. They were teenagers. They were dressed in all black, in like robes. And they said, hey, do you want to see the other haunted cemetery? It's back here in the woods. We'll show it to you. He's like, yeah, sure, let me get my stuff. So he gets his stuff, and as they're starting to walk away, he says they slowly start to disappear in these woods, and he doesn't see them anymore, and he took off. Because he says, Chris, they didn't seem normal. They seemed very, just like this, and like, hey, come with us and come look in the forest. We'll show you something. So he says, that's just not normal. When you're here late at night, you really want to go with somebody like that? No. So when he told me that, he says, never go to this place alone. Of course, that would have been 98, 99 that happened. The other last story that I'll tell is, it was a radio station called The Bus, and we came here at midnight. It was an entire radio station. We had about 12 people. We did a Ouija board session over here, and we recorded it. And on the recording, we got all these EVPs that were responding to the questions before the board started to move. Well, when we were done, we decided to leave. One of the guys who was the sound tech or sound manager for the radio station was skeptical. He's like, oh, this is all bullshit, this and that. And he goes, hang on, I forgot something. He comes back here, grabs his bag. He's walking back, and he's carrying his flashlight like this. and he's the last one. He says something grabbed his hand, ripped the flashlight out of his hand. He turns around, sees the flashlight going in the air, spinning, and land, you know, I don't know, I can't remember, 10, 20 feet behind him. He took off running. And I said, okay. He says, what do you think? I said, something grabbed my hand, Chris. You know, I can't say it was a ghost, but I didn't see anybody else there. I said, what were you thinking when you were walking out? I said, there's no ghost here. It's freaking bullshit. They would have done something by now, and then my hand got grabbed. So when you have something like that happen with the skeptic, and
That's kind of common.
Yeah.
People get in touch.
Tell us some
with their
story.
bad. Oh, I don't have hours to spend.
Okay, no, just tell a story or two. Please.
No, I mean, well, the EVP, like you're talking about being grabbed, we had
Yeah.
two guys doing EVP down by the Fulton Stone. And or one guy was doing EVP, one had like an old-fashioned recorder. And his bag was moving on his shoulder. He thought it was caught on something, but it wasn't, and his buddy's watching his bag moving up and down. And with the audio recorder, he goes, are you the one who just scared my friend Doug? When he played it back, it was so freaking loud. I said, yes. it was creepy, but it was awesome, right? So
yeah.
There's tons of stuff like that, actually.
You guys did a ghost hunt here, and you've got the video. And I've actually used that clip in some of my lectures. But where's that tombstone? Where the figure goes behind the tombstone? It's that one, right?
You know what, actually, David, it was like when he first started.
Okay. Were you with him or no?
No, I wasn't with him
him
at that time. That's when David first started doing the paranormal investigations, and he was with his brother actually at that time. So
they have this on footage. Okay, they're here late at night and they're filming and they're trying to get EVPs, they're doing whatever, and they turn and you see this figure move from tree to behind that tombstone, but the way it moves, it glides. Not like a person that walks, it just glides like an apparition does. So in watching that, I was like, holy cow. Now, of course, we're not here at night, so we may not see something like that. But what I'd like to do is, how many people we got here? We got a bunch of people.
We have like 2 classrooms full.
Count how many people, just so I know, because we're going to break up. What we're going to do is, I'd like to walk around first and just get a feel for this place. Okay, yeah. All right. There's a thing, I want to share with you guys kind of what I do and how I feel and what I see and how it works. All right, because right now, the last tree back there by the fence, there's a man standing there. Very tall, slender man, and he's wearing like a same color suit. Okay, it's like, I would say it's probably black, but it's a very, very dark blue. It's hard to tell. But he's standing there with a tie, black tie, white, and complete dark suit. He's very, very thin. Older guy. I got to say he's probably, oh man, he's got to be 60s, maybe 70s. Okay? So what I want to do is I want to go over there right now and communicate with him because he's obviously making his presence known. All right? And I was going to tell you something else, but we'll wait. So let's go over here right now. And I want to see if I can get him on recording. Got a little bag. What I'm going to do right now is just a simple EVP. See if it'll speak. Now, we do have a plane going over about 50. All right. What I'm going to do for about 5 minutes is I want validation of this male spirit, okay? Talk to us. So I'm going to ask a couple questions, see if you respond, and then we're going to probably move about based on what happens here, all right? Don't whisper because it could pick it up, all right? The electronic voice phenomenon, many of you may already know this, but our hearing only goes down to 20 hertz. So anything below that we can't hear. The one thing with recorders is it can pick up stuff, ambiance within the environment. And what happens is, some people say that the spirits will project their voices, stuff like that. I believe it's the ether. that this is going to pick up, and it's sensitive to the E for electromagnetic field, and it's going to detect anything that's being conversing within that field. It records it. So, this is October 19th. What time is it? About what, 3:30?
Yep, 3:33. 3:33.
Okay, we're in the back part of the cemetery. I saw a male spirit. Let's see if he talks to us. The male spirit that was standing over here in the black suit. Can you please say something? Can you tell us what your name is or how long you've been here? That's the dog. Do you like pets? Do you like dogs? Have I met you before in the past? Pull this back.
This is October 19th. What time is it? About 2:30? That part of the cemetery, I saw a male spirit. Let's see if he talks to us. The male spirit that was standing over here in the black suit. Over here.
Yes. It says yes, but that's not a.
Over here. In the black
Yes.
suit.
You guys hear that? Yes?
Can you please say something?
We're going to do.
Can you tell us what your name is? And how long you've been here?
That's the dog.
Aww.
It's interesting how the dog reacts. Didn't hear anything there. It'd be interesting with the computer with headphones if there's anything that's said before the dog reacted, before the dog said something. Sometimes animals will respond to that. Okay? God, this place is gorgeous.
I'll give you a copy of the report.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. A lot of good memories here. Has anybody else ever been here before and investigated? Raise your hand. You have? Have you had anything happen?
No.
No? Anybody else? Yeah?
I've had voices come through on the SB11 a handful
Oh,
of
really?
times. Over here and over by that tree stump. That tree stump is like super active area.
That, what does it say, Haas or whatever? House? There's that tombstone there. I got an amazing EVP back in the 90s and then one over there. So we'll try that too. Anybody else ever had an experience here?
I was here with a friend. It was last year, and we sat on the tomb where was the white lady, the photo of the white lady. Yeah. Oh no, I thought it was the block over here. Yeah, that's that one over there. Yeah, and so we had been walking around a while, and we wanted to take a break, so we sat down for a minute there, and as soon as he got up, he changed. He wasn't himself anymore. Like his energy was zapped completely, and he's like, I don't know what's wrong, but like the whole ride home, we went all the way back to the main side. It was like something took him over.
Right.
I mean, he was okay later, but it was definitely after sitting over there. He was susceptible to some sort of energy there.
Something affecting emotional. What happens sometimes when people are here, I know when I was here with this one group, the guy's girlfriend, she had to leave, she was crying, emotionally wouldn't stop. So she had to be removed from the place. Normally when you're removed from a place, you separate from that attachment and it releases. It no longer happens.
You know, there was a recording you had in your went to post about your old static. Where was that spot?
Oh, that was over here. It would have been right over
On a dime or no?
this area here. We start getting all this static, and then there was voice that said William. It said William. And there was another one over by that tombstone where he said the person was sitting. I got the EVP. This is Bachelors Grove Cemetery.
Yeah.
It just drowns out this long cemetery. Now I left my recorder there. while we walked around, back in those days, we recorded. We let it go for an hour or two, whatever, right? Today we just do the bursts. Okay, we're going to try a spirit box session as well, and we're going to do, I brought it the SLS camera too, and I'm going to see if I can get that going. John, you know it, okay? Okay, cool. What I like to do too is I like to just sit here and listen to the place for activity. Now, there's a thing called the ether, all right? Tesla talked about it, not the guy that makes the cars today, but the original scientist and engineer. He talked about the ether, and so did Einstein, and I know the military had done tests on it based on an experiment in the last 1880s, that the ether doesn't have a drag. That it exists, but it doesn't have any type of drag. That ether is what we use today with electromagnetic field, where we send cell phone signals, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all that. It uses this ether that's there. Well, the theory is, and it goes back to what Tesla said, was he was hearing voices through this ether. Okay, he was hearing voices when he used his Tesla coils. It would amplify, completely amplify the ether. It would absorb it and magnify it to such a point of amplitude that he would hear these people talking. That's before radio, before any broadcasts. Okay? So the theory I have with some other investigators is that our thoughts are being projected into the ether. Everybody's living, their thoughts are being put into the environment. So are spirits. So when spirits are communicating, they're communicating through this matrix system, through this ether. It's being traveled from one place to the next using their energy. So the thing is like what a lot of mediums and psychics will do. Some are aware of this, some aren't. They look at just a higher sense of consciousness. Is we are sensitive to the ether. So when there's changes or movements within that grid system, we can detect it. Like, wow, there's a movement over there. It's being affected. That signal is being sent to us because we're all connected to it. Okay? So what I like to do is I like to listen to that. Like right now, I'm getting the sense of a little girl. Okay, whether it's residual or whether she's there now, I'm getting a little girl that's over there. And so we'll see if we get any children that talk to us. So where do I want to go next? And I'm going to have you guys ask some questions too when I start using these devices. Who wants to volunteer for an EVP right now? Who wants to? Man with the hat. I saw you first. Come on over here. Ask a question. What's your name? Bob. Hey, Bob. Nice to meet you. Okay. I'm going to record this for maybe like 20 seconds. So ask two questions. Ask one question, delay for about 10 seconds, then ask another one. Okay? And we'll see what the response is.
Wait for the airplane.
Yeah. One thing too is, it's a good point, is when you record, you might be able to hear that and say, okay, it's it's not too bad, but it's even louder when you play it back. Forgot about that swell. That's where the bodies are buried. Yeah.
There's something real dump back there too.
Well, the rumor is whether they would come in here at night or they would drive by and just dump it over up. Has anybody ever gone in there and looked to see if there's any bodies?
So look for bodies. I remember the cops skimming it once in a while back in the day, but I can't even verify that. I know I got somebody was swimming in it.
That's gross. All right, let's try this. Okay, Bob, go ahead.
Who is here with us right now? What year is it?
Spirits in the trees.
Who's here with us right now?
I don't know if that was someone talking or
Who's here with us right
something.
It's
Says,
right before I start
it
speaking.
says like I'm or something.
Who's here with us right now? What year is it?
Right there.
Year is it?
70? Could be leaves too. Right there was something at the end. The leaves could be being picked up too, but it looks like it said 70. Yeah.
Who's here with us right now?
I hear a 7.
Yeah, you're 70.
Yeah. I
So
hear
was
7. I don't hear 70.
It was 70. It sounded like 70.
Yeah. Was it 1870 or could it be 1970? Right? 70's got to be either one of them. Mine? 70? No, I wish I was. Yeah, I was born in 70. Yeah.
I recorded that one. You want to listen?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Same one?
You play that back. Because you got the response like I got. Play it for him. That's definitely
What does it
a
say?
response.
It's like a huff.
No, it's
It's cleaner.
Here, John.
yeah. Say don't.
Yes.
No.
What are you hearing?
That's something.
It sounds like it says no.
Yeah.
There's something.
No. It doesn't want to know.
It's different.
Just so
Play-
you know, this recorder
play that
they,
one more time,
they
John.
stopped
Let me hear it.
making because so many people were getting voices on it, and now this thing sells for like 25.
Sounded like it said stop it.
Stop it.
eBay. Does it say stop?
Stop it.
Okay.
Oh, I heard
Stop
that.
or no? Yeah. That's See, it's interesting too. Is when you do EVP, one recorder may pick up something else than the other one. We've had sometimes where one recorder picks something up, the other one doesn't pick up on anything. And then sometimes you get two completely different responses to the same question, but they're very similar, or they're two different personalities that are talking. So we've got either 1870, 1970, and then we've got a no. We're going to get more, especially when you get in the spirit box. God, look at these leaves.
So pretty. You know, they can use our energy
Yeah.
to come through more, so if everybody could open up their heart, open up and provide that energy, like if you think about a loved one. the
Well,
way
I'm not
you
going to be
can feel.
channeling here, so.
Not today.
No, I know, yeah, absolutely.
You'll help them come through if it's a
Absolutely.
little bit weak.
And they get comfortable with us too. Guys, also use your cameras to take pictures of this place. There's some great little textures and stuff all over, so make sure you take some really cool photos. I want to move over to this side. Yeah. But I remember.
No, you're fine. Don't mind me just hauling my stuff like I live here. Just toss it.
Some of that stuff is